Hello, guys, and welcome here to our Saturday NFL edition of SCN Sports Talk. We will kick off the full podcast tomorrow, but because there's Saturday games and we don't want to miss out on making our god awful picks before then, we're just going to do it now. This is Jason, by the way, for those
Hi,
who,
everybody.
for those who have
Yeah.
not seen him before. You'll get to know him a little bit better tomorrow. We're just going to get right to the chase here today. Let me just pull up my notes. All right, so there are 3 games today. They all kick off at 1. We know who Jason's going for.
I'm gonna probably go with the Bills. Of course, there's injuries with Beasley and Diggs. So depending on what Sean McDermott actually does, I think he's gonna pull the whole trickery of like, yeah, I don't think my guys are gonna play. I don't know anything. And then last second, oh yeah, by the way, Beasley and Diggs, they're
Deny.
Good to go. They're gonna pull the whole Bill Belichick type of thing. You know how that's gonna
Man.
go. Like, oh well, you know what? Because wasn't it with Bill Belichick? Tom Brady was on like questionable every week, just to
Yeah,
fool
it was
teams.
just to rile up the reporters. Let's just call it that. So, of
So
course,
honestly, my pick, I gotta go with the hometown team of Buffalo, unless Diggs and Beasley are hurt, and then it's probably gotta be Indianapolis at this point. That defense is not number one for nothing.
but let me ask though, if McDermott is bluffing about injuries, why would he list oblique? Because now you know. Here's the thing: if you're a player in the playoffs, don't you think you're targeting that area? If like if you know that that person's hurting in that area, Don't you think that you're going to target them more?
I mean, Diggs downplayed the injury, saying, "Oh well, yeah, it's an oblique, but it's not hurting me at all." But that was Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday, he said, "I'm not hurt," but he was limited all week.
yeah. But again, don't like. I mean, just personally speaking, from watching the Stanley Cup final, from watching other games, if you list an injury and you play, I'm not saying it's a death wish, but I'm saying that players on the other side are going to know you're hurting there, and therefore they're going to do everything they can to make sure that you feel as much discomfort as you can feel. Not try to re-injure you, but cause more discomfort.
I look at it this way: there's been multiple times where this man's been hurt, and I thought, that game, I was watching it. Oh my gosh, I think I had a mini heart attack because he goes down. I'm like, oh man, here it is. Season's over with. We're gonna go into the playoffs. AFC's champions. We're gonna be one and done like we always are. And then he gets back up like, oh, just throw some dirt into it. I'm good. That's what he's sounding like to
Oh
me.
man. So of course now I'm gonna make mine. So of course the Bills are 6.5 or 6.5 point favorites. Our Twitter poll, the only guy to vote was kind of a new guy. I don't know his name, but I believe it was Zach Carmine. Not too familiar with him. Yeah, we're very familiar with him around here. Of course, he is the host of the Canteen podcast. So he has gone with Indy. So I don't want to say Indy's going to win this game, but I think it's a question of what Phillip Rivers are you going to get? Are you going to get the
Well,
Phillip Rivers that chokes in big situations, or are you going to get the Phillip Rivers that arguably is going to be a Hall of Famer his first or second year of eligibility?
well, I look at it this way: if we get the Buffalo Bills team that's been hot these last 6 games, it's gonna be back and forth. It could go either way. But if we get the Buffalo Bills team that started off the season like, for me, started off the season like, we gotta get rid of Leslie Frazier. He ain't doing anything.
Yeah.
Fire him. I've seen this team go from heartbreak to being the last 4 years, making playoffs 3 out of the 4 years under McDermott. So I look at it this way. I told you earlier, I'm going to say it again. You tire Indy's offense, you get them off the field, go 3 and out, make them, exhaust that offense. you're going to make that defense tired. I don't care if you're number one. I don't care if you're, top 5, top 10,
Yeah.
which they are. You looked at it very many times. Pittsburgh had a number one, top defense. Look what happened in that game.
Oh yeah.
San Fran had another top defense. You look at that game, you saw what happened. Denver even has a good defense. You look at it and see what happened with that one. I don't care what top defense you are. If you go up against the top offense is going to beat out top defense almost every single time. I hate to say it.
Yes. And I agree. But I will say I am picking Buffalo, obviously. But I'm going to say this as well, is that Indy's not going to go down easy. Okay.
Well, any team's not going to go down easy.
I know.
I mean, look at Houston last year.
Yeah. But
they didn't go down easy. They were up, down by 16 points. It was 16-0 at one point. Goes into overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's some questionable calls, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, we'll see. I think, again, it'll be a lot closer than people think. Some people will think. But I think Buffalo squeaks this one out for their first playoff win in 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years.
It
would be their... Okay, see, the thing about this is it's his first home playoff game in 25 years. It would also be their first playoff win in 25 years, unfortunately.
Okay.
And then 3, if you think about it, if that Motor City Miracle didn't happen, that would have been a win in 1999 too. I still think it was a backward pass. As much as you're gonna say, people are gonna say, "Oh, well, it was backward pass. It wasn't a forward pass at all."
Oh boy.
It's very debatable.
Later debate here on Sports Talk. Was it a forward pass? We're gonna go back to the vault notes. All right. So game number 2, we got the Rams and the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites, and they won our Twitter poll with 80% of the vote.
Brian, this one's a toss-up. 2 division rivals going up against each other. These 2 teams have their numbers. It's just going to be like Sunday, too. I mean, Pittsburgh and Browns. But this one can go either way. I got to go with the Rams, honestly. Their defense has always had Russell Wilson's number. I don't care if Russell Wilson's going to go out there and throw 400 yards with 4 touchdowns. You got to literally, find a way to stop this defense. And I tell you what, when you're going up against a former Defensive Player of the Year, not just once, but I think, 3 times at this point?
Yeah. This is their 3rd matchup.
No, I mean, he's won it 3 times, I think. Donald, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I believe so. That sounds about right.
You're gonna have to double or triple team that man. And I don't think there's enough O-linemen in the world to stop Aaron Donald from coming after your quarterback.
Yeah, and we'll ultimately see, will Jared Goff play? That's going to be a huge, huge deciding factor in this, number 1. And number 2, of course, what Seattle team are we going to get as well is the other big question, because Seattle has not been very good in recent weeks. Is the home field enough?
If we get the Seattle Seahawks team where Russell Wilson was, MVP candidate, yeah, maybe they'll win. But if we get the Seahawks team where they haven't been able to put up any offensive production, I mean, DK, he's good, but he's no Doug Baldwin good.
Absolutely. And that'll be an interesting matchup, too. Ramsey versus Metcalf, because it is expected those 2 will match up on Saturday afternoon.
I mean, I look at it this way. You can give him the ball as much and you can put the best corner on him, but you still have Tyler Lockett.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the Rams win it. I know Seattle, they're very good at home, but it's a pandemic year. They don't have the crowd in their favor. And I just haven't liked how Seattle's played lately. Something tells me Goff is gonna play. Maybe I'm wrong. If he doesn't play, then Seattle's got this. But ultimately, I'm going to choose LA just for the sake of whether I'm right or wrong, I'm going to pick LA.
Right. And also, I mean, yeah, Seattle probably has that undefeated home record in the playoffs on their favor, but like I said, if it was any other team, they would probably have the advantage. But since it's the Rams,
Oh yeah,
again, you know how hard it is to beat a team twice in 1 year, but to do it 3 times, I'm
exactly.
sorry.
3 times is not an easy accomplishment either, which is the other big thing. So, our final game that we're going to talk about here on this SCN NFL Saturday, we got the Buccaneers and I'm not going to say it's like the Ohio State, but it's the Washington football team. And the Bucks are an 8.5 point favorite. Washington football team won our Twitter poll unanimously.
You know, all I gotta say is Chase Young. You better think again what you're wishing for. He said, "Bring on Tom," but you know what?
Yep. Arians said,
When I don't
Bruce
know
Arians released a statement too. He said, "Watch what you wish for."
exactly, you better watch what you wish for because trust me, Rex Ryan brought on death to the Buffalo Bills when he's like, "Bring on the Tom Brady led New England Patriots. We're gonna beat the crap out of them." Well, guess what? They beat the crap out of us that game. We didn't even have a chance. And that was when we still had Tyrod. This was going into Rex Ryan's last year. So you know
Yep.
what? Bills fans knows heartbreak too much by Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Washington football team. You're gonna be one and done, just like Alex Smith. I hate to say it. I think he's gonna be one and done too, and you're gonna have to look for another quarterback because the only way I see Washington winning this game is if Chase Young doesn't have just one, not just two, but maybe 3 sacks on the supposed GOAT of football, Tom Brady.
And we may have that debate soon. Of course, tomorrow we'll be discussing Hall of Fame inductees, but we'll have that debate tomorrow on the GOAT of football, probably. So I watched. So I was working out on Wednesday, and I was watching Fox Bet Live. They brought up some interesting statistics on Brady and the Bucks this year. So Brady in the last 5 games, he's 4-1. He's got almost a 69% completion, and he's got a 15-3 touchdown interception ratio with a 120 passer rating. But let's look at this as well. The Bucks versus a top 5 defense, which the Washington football team is second in defense right now. So they are 0-3 against teams with the top 5 defense. They don't score more than 17, and the touchdown interception ratio for Brady is 4-7. That looks like a 43-year-old quarterback who should be riding off into the sunset. So
Yeah, and tell you what, I think youth is going to be on Washington's side. I mean, that young rookie out of Ohio State there, Chase Young, is going to. Honestly, I think he had every right to call out Tom Brady's number because 43-year-old Tom Brady is definitely going to look like a 43-year-old quarterback when he can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field when you have a lengthy, young, great defensive end, which I think is the candidate for defensive rookie of the
he's
year.
got it. No, don't even say candidate. He's got it. Honestly, Chase Young is going to be one of the most prolific pass rushers going forward. I don't think there's any denying that.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I would love nothing more than to say Washington would win this game. But at the same time, I got to go with the Bucks here. I mean, it's I don't feel like the Washington football team can put up the points to get around Brady. Now, if they can make Brady fall under pressure early, if they can keep his completion percentage low, get him off the field, maybe they got a shot. But I think this game's going to be close. It's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
think the Bucks are going to come out with this on Saturday night, and that game will be on NBC.
Yeah, I have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too. I
Yeah,
hate to
the
say it,
Tampa
Tom
Bay
Brady.
Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay has. I mean, you look at Tom Brady. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but if you look at all the playoff, victories he's had, all the years of experience he's got, and credit, yes, he's made it to the Super Bowl 9 times and won 6 out of the 9 appearances. You
Yeah.
can thank Nick Foles and Eli Manning for those 3 losses. Thank you very much, NFC East. But
NFC least is what you mean, right?
yeah, of
That's
course.
what we're gonna.
I mean,
Let me put it this way. This is what they're called now. They are called the NFC least because none of them should have made the playoffs. Maybe Washington, if they had won a few more games, but none of them deserve to be there.
well, it could be very debated about that. Alex Smith should probably have started from the get-go, not Dwayne Haskins. But
100% agreed.
I'm pretty sure Ron Rivera is probably happy just making playoffs and winning that division in general.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't doubt it. And they're a team that's so hard to root against as well, with everything with Alex Smith coming back from near leg amputation to
Undisputed comeback player of the year. Come
yeah,
on now.
Yeah, and we'll discuss that in a future episode as well. But anyway, so we want to thank you for watching. We just want to real quickly tell you what to expect in our first episode. We'll be able to introduce ourselves more. We're going to be headed to an audio version too. This is just a YouTube exclusive, but tomorrow we'll be on Anchor. And so we'll be introducing ourselves to the Anchor listeners. We'll be talking some basketball. We'll be talking the head coaching vacancies, the Hall of Fame finalists. That's where we'll probably have our little GOAT debate right there.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to also talk about the NCAA College Football Championship. And then we're going to talk about the Sunday games, which should be... I don't think they will be as close. We'll see. But this should be fun to debate out.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing these Saturday editions this week and next week because of the games that fall on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just be talking these games. After that, we'll only be doing Sundays unless we have a special edition episode for a big sporting event. So...
or breaking news that just expectantly happens.
If we have time, that's the big question. If we have time to come on air. So, we'll see. But we want to thank you for watching. Give this video a like or a dislike. I'm not even going to point to where to, like the logos. But check out our friends at Heartland Spirit, their podcast, The Canteen, every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. In fact, we're recording on Friday night. They're probably still on premiere as we're recording. But check them out. The Seal is another show that they will be releasing very soon. I believe it'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So we hope you listen to them. Anyway,
yeah, comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah, thank you. That's the pattern to go for. But anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Until then, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.